the overall total cycle time for true express non-upsell is a huge barometer on what your average is at the store. However, when you break that down, it's typically not at the rack with the technician that delays. It's typically either at the staging right up before it gets to the rack or after it gets from the rack to the customer's hands with delivery. And you've got to get really granular in determining our typical problems with our flow and our setup, or when our processes come off the rails. Is it before the repair order is opened in the DMS or service system? Is it after the repair order is open before it gets to the rack in a staging area where it can go into a black hole or some parking space or some technician communication issue? Or is it on the delivery side? A lot of times that's harder to control. But with the delivery side, is it happening before the wash, after the wash? What point are we vulnerable there? So you have to break all of those down and look at those as a whole. And you have to look at store, obviously, franchise, location, physical space. There are no two setups that are exactly the same, but those KPIs are big. And in terms of where we start with automating the service to sales process in a very diplomatic way, like letting the camera trigger that KPI, the big one is what percentage of your repair orders, customer pay and warranty are you converting to acquisitions, and what percentage of those acquisitions involve a trade, what percentage are pure. And that's a big KPI that also has sub data sets involved. We now have 100% of our dealerships use us to trigger that process with the customer when they arrive. As far as the on-site conversation, we think that a big reason is the camera being involved, identifying the vehicle. It's not dependent on the human opening the repair order. That could happen late. There could be a data problem involved, or delays are very common with the APIs between systems. But knowing that the camera caught that vehicle and we're going to get the right message to the customer has become an animal of its own.